What's up, my loves? It's your girl Dime, and I'm back with my all-new review of Love and Marriage DC. Forgive me in my voice, y'all, but Ashley and Monique meet up just to have girl time and definitely can come together with the understanding of having husband and children and sometimes not feeling the support and understanding from their husbands because that's how it feels. Because we all know that Monique and Chris are going through their issues. They're reaching their 10 years of marriage, but it hasn't been a consistent 10 years. She wants to know, what is Chris feeling? Sometimes he procrastinates on things. Sometimes he doesn't show how he's feeling. Like, he is an amazing man, but I still feel like, who is he? I don't know who this man is. And I want him to hear what I say. I want him to hear what I want from him. Not that I don't think he wants nothing from me. I know I have things to work on, but I feel like, excuse me, I want him to listen to me. Because obviously Chris is that type of man who is perfect in every way. He is a stand-up man, a great father, a great provider, but that's all he feels like, that's all he has to do. I bring the money, I show up for you when I need to, and that's all you needed from me. I don't need to do anything else. It's the emotional connection behind it that is lacking in the relationship, and that's what she wants from her husband. Ashley can co-sign on that as well because since Monique was a football wife, she stood beside him throughout everything. And Ashley is a DJ's wife, and she was able to stick beside him and support him throughout everything as well. She dropped out of school twice and was raising two small children. And now, since the kids are older, DJ Quicksilver is a well-known name, but he's not stopping anytime soon to balance and prioritize helping her out. She wants to go ahead and jumpstart her career as well. But at the same time, will I receive the same exact support and encouragement like I gave him? And Monique said the same thing. You want to know if he's going to give you the same exact support as you giving him. Right. So she appreciates this type of conversation because it's nice to be with someone who gets it, who understands what I'm going through. And of course, to the other eye, it might feel like Monique is complaining about little things, but no. While you can see that I have the best husband in the world, I'm lacking in the emotional category. I'm lacking my husband understanding me, understanding how I'm feeling, validating my feelings, showing up in other areas, but this one. And yes, while you can see I have the big house, I have a lot of fancy cars, but I can feel really unhappy about how I don't feel loved, I don't feel cared for, I don't feel needed, I don't feel appreciated. So basically, just having those types of conversations. And it's really refreshing to talk to somebody who gets it, to be like, I am all that and then some, and yet I still don't feel fulfilled. I still don't feel that validation. I still don't feel that understanding, especially from the one person who I thought I should hear it from. I don't need to hear it from another person. I don't need to hear it from this. I need to hear it from my husband. I want to feel heard and understood from my husband. And it ended with them having a conversation about what they used to talk on their podcast. And they talked about birth control. Monique and Chris still use the pull-out method. And Ashley says she developed menopause at the age of 36, having hot flashes. So she tells us she's going to get her armpit filled with Botox. And also that's supposed to help with sweating. And then she wants to get underarm lipo. But also before that, Monique invited them out to dinner because they still want to have an understanding conversation about how did Irina and Jamie get to 26 years of marriage. DJ Quicksilver, he's at his studio and he has been in the radio world since 1998, and he spent a lot of time at the radio station. Sean is his manager and right-hand partner. They've been doing business for over 25 years. Sean has been there for DJ Quick ever since his father passed when he was 18. And he said, don't worry about it, bro, I got you. And throughout the years, he showed him that he was looking out for him in more than just words. He showed them in ways. So, the CIAA is an organization by HBCU which holds a lot of football teams, basketball teams, and also a lot of parties. And for the last 15 years, the DJ has been a part of the party scene for this organization for the last 15 years. They've been all over Charlotte, North Carolina, and now they're approaching Baltimore. So, he is a very busy man, okay? So while the representative is excited about the upcoming events, he said, whatever you want me to do, whatever the dates are, I'm with it. Tell Sean I'm in. So his manager is looking at the calendar, right? You have a lot of events and bookings coming up this weekend. I want you to not overexert yourself and put you back in the hospital like you did before. So he has always been a part of these events. He's never missed an event. He's never missed a gig, never missed a chance to host, DJ, all that, and then some. He's the party king. And there are times where he has literally worked himself to exhaustion, passing out while DJing, up in the hospital. He said, I could do up to 15 events and come home and lay in the bed with an IV drip. So, of course, his manager's looking out for him. Yeah, I know you want to do this, get money, get bookings and stuff, but I got to make sure your health is intact, bro. So the fact that you are going to put yourself into being around all these events for the next weekend, I want you to be good. So obviously he's going to have to talk to Ashley about him being gone for 3 days while doing this events. You got to be kidding me. 15 events in a weekend? That's a lot. How do you do it? What time are these events? What time is in between these events? Do you have time to take a quick nap? Like, oh my goodness, shower? So Monique, she's at a radio station where she co-hosted a few weeks ago, and now she was called back for a permanent position. So they're looking for a morning host. They have all different types of other positions, and the type of person they're looking for is a mother. And since she is known for being on the Real Housewives of Potomac and for her own podcast, they believe that she'll be the perfect fit. But they want to know, will she ready to come in early in the morning? So the time frame they want her to come in is 5 and 5:30 for the morning show. But then they also wanted to be known and recognized that while she is from another reality show, they do not want anything to tie them to Potomac. They do not want any drama from Potomac to bring about in the radio show. I mean, I feel like, well, ain't that why you wanted her there? Because she is from another brand, she is from another network, so that can bring more publicity for your radio station. But I hear you about not wanting to talk about the issues, but we gotta let season 5 go. We can't keep on bringing up what season 5 did. Please let that die. And I know Monique does not want to be recognized by that season alone about how she came off. We know how Monique was before that. I feel like people are not going to recognize how she was before that and just based off of how she was that season. And that's what she's been trying to do this whole time, which was why she wanted to reintroduce herself on this particular show. And she said, listen, I don't bring drama. If it comes to me, I will finish it. But you would not have to worry about that. And she has to talk to Chris to make sure her and Chris are on the same page. And while they tell her she's a good candidate, they want to keep an open mind for other people. And she figures, you know what? I want my husband to do this for me. I've done multiple things for him without question. I sacrificed a lot for him. Please make the sacrifice for me. So Chris meets up with Winter's husband, Kevin. And when I looked at Kevin looked like Geppetto. I don't know. His eyes were so close together. I can't think of a character in my mind, but it's like right there and I just can't think of it. But his eyes were so close together. He has a nose like Pinocchio. It's literally like, you know what? It's like giving me, no, I can't even think of the name for the life of me. Because I'm going to keep on saying Geppetto. Geppetto. So before he was able to meet up with Chris, he was served with divorce papers. And Winter made it crystal clear to sign them papers. Okay? So Chris has known Kevin for a very long time. And when they found out that Winter and Kevin were together, they felt like it was a perfect match. So it flashed back to, I believe, their audition tapes 9 months ago, how they were being in love, they were happy, they were having sex 8 times a day. So out of all the things that they've been hearing and they've been reaching a year of marriage, he gets a call that he's been accused of embezzling the company's funds to take his kids ice skating. Now,
but he was trapped.
He did not deny taking the money, but he denied the fact that he took his kids ice skating. He's never taken his kids ice skating. I said, what the heck? You mean to tell me that you are being accused of embezzling funds for taking kids ice skating? How much was ice skating? Like, where was this ice skating rink? Was it that special? Was it that popular? Out of all the things that you could have did for your children, ice skating, and that's what they want to accuse you of. Okay, so apparently that wasn't the first thing that happened. That was the first thing. More things started to come, and then he starts monologuing, going in and out, speaking on about how money was being used. They had to do this. I had to file for bankruptcy, so they wouldn't take no more money out of me. They said I spent this amount of money. It was just going on and on and on. I had to rewind it more than once because I couldn't get a full picture of what happened. It's just him saying, I got accused of this. They said I spent this. I had to file for bankruptcy. And now and look where I'm at. So Chris is definitely taken aback because he's known Kevin for a long time. He's a smart guy. He's articulate. I'm blown away that this is happening. So the way that he broke it down for Chris to understand, he said, did you tell Winter about this? Have you had a chance to talk to her? He said no, because everything happened so fast. And I wanted to fix it all before she was able to say, what's going on? What's going on? I wanted to get it all understood so I can explain it to her. But I couldn't get any information fast enough for me to tell her. And apparently, this is Winter's second marriage. Her first marriage was a lot. The affair, the outside children. So the fact that she was less than a year married to this man and now an embezzlement fraud is coming out. So I feel like Winter was cautious about this, which was why she went to divorce. So after all of that, his kids told him that he loved Bomb Winter a lot throughout the relationship. I said, your kids were catching you love bombing somebody too early in a relationship. What the hell did you do for your kids to start saying you loved Bomb too fast? And he said, yeah, I would do breakfast in bed. I would take her out to date nights for more than 3 nights a week. So what was you doing? I want to know how did the timeline of the courtship came where you loved Bomb her so fast. What did you do? So Chris is in the same situation. He is lacking in the romance department. And he's so overwhelmed. He doesn't want to start off with doing little things. He wants to make it grand enough. Because he still loves Monique and he wants to appreciate her. So Kevin gets emotional because he does love Winter. And he wants to show her how much he loved her. He has loved her kids like his own. Same goes with his kids. His youngest is asking for Winter. Where is Winter? Where is Winter? And when he would text her, he would tell her, listen, even if you don't want to talk to me, can you talk to this guy right here because he misses you? Seeing him cry makes Chris wants to cry. Now, I don't know this. I don't know, y'all. This story got me like, what has happened? It's giving scammer tease. Because how does it that you come home from a vacation and you're now getting accused by the feds that you are part of an embezzlement scheme? I don't know. Like, more needs to be developed. More needs to be developed. So, Jamie, DJ Quick, and Neil Lyon, they all meet up. Now, I remember hearing Neil Lyon on the upcoming cast of this show, and I believe him and his wife will be added on later. Excuse me. So, they all meet up because I believe his son had a basketball game or something. So, Jamie and DJ Quick are all in the party nightlife. He's a party promoter, he's a DJ. So they are both a part of the parties that are about to happen in the coming weekend. So they're pretty much fighting to the death of who's going to have the best party, who's going to be the party king, all that and then some. So Jamie has been out of the party scene for quite some time, and he's getting back into it. So DJ Quick wanted to know, how does Irena feel about you getting back into the party scene? If it's none of my business, please tell me. He said she don't like it, but she has to understand that this is my company. It's been around for over a decade. I love to entertain. It's in my blood. And if I make money, she ain't got nothing else to say. But do you believe that she might have some insecurities about you being back in the nightlife? He said 10 years ago. Absolutely. So he goes off with saying that she was more jealous than she was back in the day than she is now. She would go off on him about liking pictures on social media. And of course, Neil's heard it. DJ Quicksilver has heard it. And he's super happy that he's had a wife that stood by him while he was in this life. It takes a strong female to be with someone who's in this nightlife. But I feel like it's not even her being strong, it's also you. Because I also feel like sometimes Men who are of the party promoter, DJ, nightclub scene, they do feel like they get some form of a pass of understanding. Well, this is what it is when you're dating. When you're dating me, it might come like this. It might happen. You just never know. So it's both. It's both because you can't just blame your position or blame the type of job field you desire to be in, where it might give you a leeway, a hall pass of doing messed up things. But I hear you. Being with a strong female, who knows the circumstances of being with a man who's of the nightlife? I hear you. So, Monique's chef is cooking up a vegan meal, and Monique thought vegans were crazy. She had never thought she'd be a vegan, but she's been learning more about being a vegan, and she feels great. She doesn't crave meat. If you wave bacon in front of her face, she wouldn't want it. So then, of course, while she was getting ready, she was painting her own nails. I said, "That's right, Monique. Paint your own nails, honey.
Yes,
Paint your own nails."
Did it.
She talks about how she doesn't be that type of woman who talks about her husband as a fourth child. No, that's a man. I want a man that's going to protect, provide, support emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And that's what I got. So she tells him that I might have a show. I might have a job of being the new Good Morning host, but I'll have to wake up super early to be able to do the 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. morning show. So you're going to have the kids all to yourself that morning. He said, I have no problem. I'm up early anyway, making breakfast for the kids, so I'm good. I'm straight. I believe that Monique said, yeah, you be up, but do you really be hands-on with the kids, though? I think that's what she said. Because when he said he used to be up early making breakfast, she's like, yeah, okay. Meaning that there's some things that you probably don't even do where it might be what you probably should start doing. You know what I'm saying? Might be. So Chris tells her what happened with the conversation about Kevin. And he's blown away about what happened. The man is still madly in love with Winter. And of all the things that he's been saying, he probably believes maybe it's too irrational, too quick that she wants to file for divorce. But Monique was like, what you mean? I mean, the conversations I've had with Winter, she said there are certain things she did not know coming to the marriage. And of course, you know why he wants her back? Because look at her, she's beautiful. Why wouldn't he want her back? Like, Monique is not giving Kevin no type of credit, no type of grace. Like, boy, don't play with me. So, Ashley and her husband stop and get a quick bite to eat before going to the house, because since it is vegan, it's vegan food. Ashley has no problem with vegan food, but DJ Quick does. So obviously they're going to the bar, get a little bit of food in their bellies. I'm not even mad at it, because when you're not fully comfortable going to other people's homes and eating their food, you might not like it, but you don't want to be rude. So you go ahead and fill your belly up just a little bit. Don't be too full, but just be a little bit settled, where you're not gonna be that hungry, but you are gonna still be respectful to at least take a few bites of something, you know. And of course, they haven't had a lot of time of being with one another, so it's nice that they have this time together. So they started out with a small conversation, and it led to him saying, "You're gonna be mad at me. I have 15 events to do in the next 3 days." Her face, she didn't look phased at all. She automatically knew this was gonna happen. But like she said, you know what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna work yourself to exhaustion. I'm gonna have to be there to take over and deal with it. You got kids that you're never there for. They got all these events coming up. I gotta figure out a way to cover it up for them while doing stuff all by myself. So what you mean? And this has been a cycle ever since they got together. They've been together all this time, and he starts off with showering her with love and affection, taking her out to dates, being there for the kids. But when it's time to get back to work, he instantly is running out the door. And it's just her and the kids again. So for him to do the exact same thing, she's had enough. It's the same cycle. He feels like he has to show up as a husband and a father for certain times that benefits him, so that way he can go out and work like crazy again. And if this has been the same cycle ever since you've been with him, then I don't know what you want him to do now. You want him to slow down. You want him to prioritize and balance life and balance work with being a husband, being a father. Also, he is a business owner of several businesses. So I do believe that DJ Quick has the ability to slow things down, but does he want to do it? It's the question. And if you have been dealing with this all this time, telling him to stop and telling him to prioritize it might not be as easy as you say it is. I mean, the fact that he told you wasn't even phased by it. You didn't even think of it any differently because you knew this was going to happen. The fact that you knew this was going to happen, I want to know what more will you complain about things if it's not going to actually happen. That's my thing. How much are you going to complain about him not prioritizing work, life, family, marriage if he's going to continue doing the same thing that he's been doing and you've been allowing for the last years you've been married? So obviously they both are in agreement that they do want to be able to take care of each other. I want to take care of you, I want you to take care of me. And I want you to feel appreciated as much as I'm being appreciated. Do you feel like you're appreciated? Right. Do you feel like you're appreciated by me? Yes. Okay, good. Because you're more than just my husband. You're my best friend. You're my guy. And there are a lot of couples who do not view their significant others as friends. I view my husband as my best friend in the whole wide world. Okay. I can never not be mad at him. I can't stay mad at him because he does get me out of feeling like I'm alone. He does make me happy when I'm really pissed off. And I can never look at him with a straight face because just looking at him makes me smile. And that's really nice. It's nice to be friends with your significant other. That's how it starts off. It starts off with being friends. And obviously, we are the fun couple. You know what I'm saying? We can Netflix and chill. We can dance all crazy. We'll be blasting 90s music 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? That's us. And I have that relationship with my husband too. So the party starts arriving. Everybody's arriving nice. We see Neil and Tasha lying. And when Monique was on Housewives, Tasha was her hairstylist, and they would have the best sessions while she was doing her hair. And that led to her having a really good sisterhood with her. So, of course, she tells everybody this is a vegan ish inspired meal. And Asher and her husband already pre-gamed, they already ate some food, so they're not going to say nothing. And Irena said, do DoorDash deliver? I know it was a joke, but sometimes you could have kept that to yourself. I mean, you don't have to say, I'm not going to eat this food here. That could be rude to the host. So then we see Winter come in. And Ashley says she don't know she's going to like Winter. She feels like Winter is not the type of girl that she would have fun with because Ashley is a fun girl. She likes to dance on tables, get drunk, and she believes that Winter is above it all. Maybe Winter feels like this is beneath her. And she is Monique's friend. So maybe she feels like this is the type of chick that I can get along with. But I feel like, Ashley, you've known Winter for what, 5 minutes? How could you feel like she is above having fun, above having a good time? How? When you first met her, you were bored. You had 4 drinks and said that you were bored while listening to this woman's story.
You lost him.
I'm not gonna like Ashley. Ashley definitely gives me mean girl vibes. I mean, the fact that she said in her confessional first episode she is the sweetest bitch you'll ever meet, but I'm seeing the bitch part, but I'm not seeing the sweet. I don't know why she feels like she cannot get along with Winter when she's never even had the chance to get to know Winter on her own. What do you feel that Winter is not going to be the type of friend you want to be around? What do you feel? I don't get it because I feel like I like Winter out of everybody here. I love her story. I love her style. She's beautiful. I don't know what's going on. So everybody is around sitting at the table, and Monique talks about how she's been homeschooling her kids for the last 2 years, and they've really been adapting the African culture. We learned that Africa is not the original name, and they actually decided to take a trip to Africa. They're going to go to Kenya, Nairobi, and Giraffe's castle, Giraffe's home, I think is what she said. So while expressing what Giraffe's home is like, when you go to the giraffes area, you see the giraffes appearing on your balcony. They lick your face. They eat the food around. So while Jamie and Irene are both excited about hearing the story, Irene is saying, oh my God, that looks so much fun. I want to do that. Jamie puts his hand over her face and said, hush, shush. I'm like, motherfucker, if you don't put your hand out of my face, what are you doing? And I was with Winter. Jamie, you are not that drunk. Don't act like that with Arena. Put it off. Like, that is really put offing and that is rude. And I didn't like that. Why did he want to shut her up when y'all both were excited about what the trip that Chris and Monique were about to make? Why did you not want her to say something? What's up with that? It's like off of Medea. I can do better by myself. When Anthony said speak. Now, but then that's what I said. Like, no, 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 don't do that. Don't do that. No, don't do that. Don't put your hand in my face. So obviously, they've been out the country more than once, and they're worried about the C-19. Aren't y'all afraid? Monique says she'll live in fear, and Jamie, Monique, and Chris have had C-19 more than once. Well, Monique and Chris have had it more than once. Jamie had it one time, and with the aches and pains, the sinuses, and while Monique had it twice, the first time was worse. The second time was about the fatigue. You know, all of the sodium was drained out of her body. And while she wasn't feeling like I could taste anything, I could move, I'm so tired, I felt I was, you know, gone. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even here. And Chris wasn't even checking on me. So that made Chris upset. He said, first of all, ho, 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 don't do that. Do not make it seem as if I was not checking on you. But of course, she didn't get to finish what she was saying. He said, no, 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 because you might make me mad. You're about to make me really upset, okay? First of all, because she complains to me that she's so busy that she doesn't get any sleep. And I would check on her, and she would tell me I'm bothering her because she wouldn't sleep, okay? So when she tell me that she wouldn't sleep, I just leave her alone. But she said that was pre-COVID. That was pre-COVID. If you're gonna explain it right. So they go back and forth with, are you gonna let me finish? Okay, well, I'm just don't confuse the story. Okay, well, fine. If I can do it, okay, well, go ahead and speak. Okay, well, then hush. Again, what's with the hushing? Now I can understand being in that situation where both parties are trying to talk. Monique was trying to clear what she said. You're trying to make sure you're defending that I was checking on my wife, and you're not getting a word in. So it's like, well, hush. My husband said that to me. Because I do go off with what I know he might say. I do go off with what I want to get out. But he said, first of all, you didn't know what I'm about to say, so hush. Hush. Listen, hush. It don't mean nothing by it. It's different than what Jamie did to Irene. He really wanted her to shut the fuck up. For Chris, he said, I'm going to let you finish, but let me get this right. And then, of course, don't tell me, don't ruin this dinner like this. Don't do that. So he says the one time that she came up to me and told me she would like for me to check in. And if I text you what I want, please help me out. And I said, fine, I'll do that. So Chris said I was taking care of her. I was checking in on her. But when he said, that's not what I said. I didn't say you weren't taking care of me. Chris said, roll the footage. Yeah, he wasn't checking on me. Monique, you did say it. Okay, you said it. And then she said, I wasn't trying to throw you under the bus. All I was trying to say was the first few days were crazy. And I felt like you wasn't checking on me. But I did tell you that I wanted you to check on me, and you did. You did care for me, and I love you for that. You did check on me more. And he said, yes, and I apologize for yelling. And I apologize too. And they gave a kiss and moved on. And that's usually what happens in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? You get a little bit high and you get a little bit emotional. But yet it all calms down. You get to a resolution. And then you move on, you let it go. That's all it is. So the conversations of dinner start to flow more. And they wanted to know from Jamie and Irena, how did you guys last 3 decades of marriage? Like, I want to know more. I feel like y'all could not give anything at your anniversary party, so I want to know more. I feel like I got the ride of my life, but I didn't get the thrill, you know? So what was your high points? What was your lowest points? What shit did y'all actually go through? We all been married, you know what I'm saying? We all been through some bullshit, but what was your shit that you went through? Excuse my son, he's in the background yelling. So, she said the things that we have gone through, what I thought was infidelity. So him being in the party scene, women tend to throw themselves at this man. And while she was getting to the story, Jamie made a gesture that, you know, he did the whole shh thing. And he pretty much wanted her to shut the fuck up and don't bring it up. And I'm like, why you want her to be quiet? This was a simple question that was asked. They want to know, what did you guys go through? So he feels like since we went through it, we don't have to explain what we went through. That's it, it's over with. Don't say nothing. When she looked at him in that confessional, it was kind of like, I'm sorry, I went off script. And that's what it looked like. But I feel like, you know, this was a conversation. The more that Jamie tried to shut down what they went through, is gonna come out more later in the season. And he doesn't have any control of that. You signed on a reality show to showcase your personal life. I'm not about to sit here while you still want to keep up what your son is doing. Your son is grown. What do you got going on? So Winter wanted to ask him a question about, out of respect, because I've always been curious, how can a woman get past a man who's had an indiscretion? Irena said, well, the thing about it is with him, I never caught him. So it was never confirmed that he actually cheated on me. I've gotten a phone call, a message, hearsay, word of mouth, people coming up to me. So she never caught him, which is true. And maybe infidelity wasn't the word that she would use. Maybe because I had no proof that he was cheating. I would hear hearsay. I would hear from other people. I would get messages, you know what I'm saying? Proof. Not concrete proof, but just words out there. And she feels like any man who engages with any female out of his marriage is cheating. So he talks about being in a nightclub live, female coming up to him, calling his name left and right. Now he's looking for a life raft to save. He's called DJ Quicksilver to help him out. And he's like, no, 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 don't bring me into that shit, man. That's on you. Do not ask for a lifeline. That is on you, okay? And I was like, what you asking for help for, Jamie? Answer the question. This was directed to you. It wasn't directed towards DJ Quick. It was directed towards you. And Ashley said, listen, what I want is for people to own it, okay? Say you made a mistake. What I don't want is to make it seem as if it was because of your job that you did what you did. Don't make it where your job is the reason why you cheated. That's not going to fly with me. Oh, your job made you go in somebody else's vagina? If that's the case, then you should have been a porn star then, because that's a job. I was with Ashley when she said that because Jamie don't play with me. And Jamie has a very narcissistic, controlling energy around him that's going to come out later. Even though it's second episode, but there's more coming in. Just from his actions alone towards Irena is a lot. So, Winter is quiet. Irena wanted to know why was she so quiet. And it's just been an interesting 6 months. Ashley, what the backup question was, why has it been an interesting 6 months? Well, 6 months ago, I was a newly married woman. And 3 days before my anniversary, I get a message that my husband's company is being sued for a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. And all of his partners are pulling out because they believe that he has stolen the money. So everything is happening all at once. My husband's trying to fix it. I'm asking what's going on, what's going on, what's wrong, what's happening. He said, just be patient, just be patient. I'm going to let you know what's going on. I'm going to let you know. So with knowing that, he lived and moved out, and he went and moved out, and he moved out and moved back in with his parents. And Monique said, I told you he lived in his parents' basement. I told you he lived in his mama's basement. I told you that. So while being patient with him trying to fix the problem, it happened to be a course of 3 days to multiple weeks to nothing getting accomplished. To the point where it's been 6 months since I seen my husband. Ashley asked her, how long did you know him before you got married? She said we knew each other for a year before we got married, and I was a relationship coach. So I asked all the questions. I had my family check him out. And at that time, we thought he was an amazing person. So obviously, it's a surprise for Monique and Chris because they know Kevin for quite a long time. So Monique brings up that Chris had lunch with Kevin, and Chris said, I mean, it's confusing to hear the story. He says how much he loves her, he wants to fix this, but Monique was like, boy, you crazy after what just happened. And Winter said, I have a major issue with that. I'm not deciding to leave this marriage out of love. He could love me until Jesus comes home. That's not why. I am leaving because you are not honest. You are not honest about living in a basement apartment. There is a difference between a basement apartment in Georgetown and a basement apartment in your parents' home. Ashley, this is when Ashley started getting shady and judgmental. Ashley said, well, you didn't ask him. And Winch was like, are you being serious right now? Then Ashley goes on again and says, I would never be with a man if I didn't know where he lived first. So, of course, it takes Winter back because she's like, first of all, girl, you don't know me. You don't know my story. I am telling you my story, and you don't have the right to judge me. And she said, you better glad I know the Lord the real way because the old Winter would have cussed your ass the fuck out. And that was in the episode, and it's going to segue more into Ashley and Winter going back and forth. I feel like while Ashley made a good point with how did you not know where he lived before you got married? And I do feel like a year knowing somebody is a decent amount of time. But if he presented himself in person as much as he presented himself on paper, there might have been some things he wasn't honest about. There might have been some things that he might have didn't think that it was necessary to tell her at one time, you know? Wanted to make it later if it was brought up later, you know? And there's more to it. You know what I'm saying? There's more to it with this story. But to me, Ashley was waiting to question Winter. Just waiting to question her. And I didn't like it. While I get it before, Ashley made valid points. How did you not know? You were there, you were with him a whole year. You didn't know where he lived. I hear you. But I feel like her tone, Ashley wanted to drill Winter. She wanted to place Winter out to be, okay, well, what did you do? How did you get here? You know what I'm saying? And it's just going back to the beginning, how she don't feel like Winter is the type of girl that she can get along with. But the fact that you were waiting to bust Winter's bubble as if Winter has been perpetrating a perfect person, that she doesn't have any eggs or no skeletons in her closet. She had already announced her story the last episode. This woman went through a 15-year marriage where a man had an affair on her with a nanny and did and birthed two children. So I don't know what you feel like you want to burst Winter's bubble, but you giving Mean Girl, what is your hatred towards this woman? I don't like it. But Ashley is not gonna be a likable person for me. It's starting. It's starting. But y'all, that's all I have. That's all I got, y'all. But please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye.